Hi guys, how are you doing? Okay, I'm Isaiah, and I wanted to show you some concepts about the basic database, especially for you guys, fundamental of database systems, and uh, I'm going to show you the lab content for the first class. That's MySQL. Maybe this includes the lab related to MySQL only, any types of database like SQL Server, Oracle, and the others are going to be given for you in other sections. Today I will show you, and I will show you some ways or how we can use MySQL and etc. So let me give for you the brief overview of my lecture. Okay. First, what is MySQL? That is the main important questions. MySQL is one of the relational database management system, which based on the SQL, that is structured query language. That means it is mm, the popular language for assessing and managing the records in the database system. That is very important. We can assess and also we can manage the SQL, the database records by using MySQL. So MySQL is an open source and free software which is given under the GNU license, and it is supported by the Oracle company also. If you see, most of the time when you search for the database designer or something else for the vacancy, you may ask it to have one of these types of database like MySQL, Oracle, or SQL Server. Okay, see. So MySQL is a relational database management system. We have said relational in a sense because we do have different types of database management system like hybrid, network, relational, and etc. are there. From them, MySQL is a relational database management systems. Okay, why we need MySQL? The first and the most important one is because it allows us to implement the database operations, which focus on the tables, on the rows, columns, and the indexes. So by using the MySQL, uh, we can define or we can implement any operations which follow the tables, rows, columns, and indexes. The other one is to define the database relationship in the form of tables. That means where the table is a collection of columns and rows, and this collection of columns and rows is considered as a relations in database. Therefore, that is why we have said in our previous lecture as well as in our previous slides, a relational database management system. Okay, and it also provides the referential integrity between rows and columns of various tables. So and by using the MySQL, many SQL queries, that means SQL queries and the structured query language queries are combines useful information from multiple tables for the end users. So the word MySQL is named after the daughter of the co-founder of Michael Weddiness, whose name is My. Then My is therefore is the name, or it is named after for it is the daughter of the co-founder of the MySQL, who were Weddiness. It is the name of his daughter. Okay, and SQL is that means SQL is a structured query language. Okay, good. We can use the MySQL to communicate with Oracle. MySQL supports the following different categories. Let me elaborate them one by one. The first one is the data definition language, or DDL. The second one is data manipulation language, or we call it DML. The other one is transaction control language. We call this one as TCL. And then data control language, DCL, is there. So, okay, what I'm going to do in this lab, or in this lecture, is I'm going to show you what is data definition language, what is data manipulation language, what is data control language, and etc. one by one. Therefore, MySQL uses many different data types, like numeric, the date and the time, string, character, varchar, integer, float, and etc. The different types of data types that you have seen in your programming. So we are going to see in detail about this one. So how we can install and we can use MySQL. The first one is to use MySQL. First, you have to install MySQL. To practice the DDL and the DML, you need to install it first. So you can install from the website, or you can simply search from the Google and install it, which is very easy. And after you install, then you will get something like this one, MySQL. You will get something like this one. When I open this, it looks like this one. Let me add the font or something else. It looks like this one, and it asks us to enter the password. This password is the password that we may give during the installation. For example, my password is here. Then when I click enter, it looks like this one. It looks like this one. Good. So after when you install, you may follow these steps. The first one is, as I have said here, you are going to download the MySQL Essential 5.0.45, like this one, and when you double click, you are going to get the second. These steps is next and so on. Okay, there is some special place where you need to give the port number as well as the password. Then if this installation looks like difficult for you, you may contact me through comments. Okay, so let me jump on this one, and then after you install it, you are going to automatically install the MySQL Server instance. Here is when you say MySQL Server instance is here. Since I have already installed it, it will display it like this one. Good. So after that, what we are going to do here is, just if you correctly install, or if you finish it, it looks like this one. Configuration file created, Windows Service MySQL is installed. You will get these messages if you do it, and then you can say click, or you can click on finish. Good. Then what we are going to do, here is the uh, page where we are going to practice. So we have said we can do the data definition language, data manipulation language, data control language, and etc. So we are going to do it, or we are going to check this one by one. What does it mean by the word data definition language? Data definition language means it is used to create the object or alter the structure of an object, and it is also used to drop already created objects. That means by using data definition language, it is to create something, or to alter something, or to drop something. So the data definition language is used for table definition, that can be classified as create the table, alter the table, truncate the table, drop the table. These words are also true for the databases. Create the database, alter the database, drop the database, and etc. Very good. These all of this one is considered as the data definition language. So if you get these types of questions in your exit exam or in any types of exams, when you are asked as the data definition language, it means that the way we can create, the way we can alter, the way we can drop the created table and etc. Very good, students. So let me show you how we are going to practice this one. Database using mysql is the main important part that you need to know. Okay, very good. So, as I have said, the MySQL or SQL commands can be categorized as data definition language, data manipulation language, data control language, and the transaction control languages are there. So all of these one are very important if you want to be expert on the database. Okay, so the data definition language include creating the database and the table, alter, drop, truncate, and rename. All of these one are considered as the data definition language. And the data manipulation language is the operations that we can take or we can do on our databases that have been created, okay, by using the data definition language. So it can be the select, it can be insert, it can be update, it can be delete, and etc. Whenever you wanted to delete, whenever you wanted to update, whenever you wanted to insert and select something, it means that you are manipulating something, okay. And the data control language is the two option that we have, grant and revoke, okay. And the control language, transaction control language, is something which is related to the transaction. Maybe this one is going to be given in detail for you when we start to talk about the transaction control language, like commit, rollback, save point, and etc. So in our today's lesson, I wanted to show you the data definition language, and the other part is going to be given for you in our next tutorial. Okay, so the data definition language is, as we have said, it is a way of creating the tables or the database, we have said, okay. Therefore, whenever we wanted to create the database that is not exist in our repository, okay. So here is a syntax that we can use. We can say create, then database, then the name of the database that we wanted to create. So for example, if you take like this one, before I'm going to create the database, let me say, or let me check whether I do have a database or not. So to show or to see that one, I can say show databases and then semicolon, then enter. So here you see the database, lists of the database are there. Then like for example, test, Kali, MySQL, and etc. So since I do have about 3 or 4 database, let me add one more. So we have said we can use the syntax like creates, then database, database, and then here what you are going to do is you are going to write the name of your database. For example, the name of your database, let me say create database. The name of this database is, let me say, online registration system or something. If for example you wanted to, or I can say I can use my name like Isaiah. Then if I select this one and enter, when I click enter, it says that query okay, were affected. That means if you see this message, it means that it is correct, is created correctly, and then it takes the time it takes also displayed. So to show or to know whether I have really created the database which is named as Isaiah, I can show or I can use these words like show databases, and then it is going to be shown in this table. So let me say show databases, then semicolon, enter. So look here, Isaiah is the database that I have created here. So it is already created. Very good. So this is how we can create the database. Then when you wanted to use or when you wanted to do something with this database, what you are going to do is you have to say use the database that you wanted to do with. For example, use database. That means since I have created the database, since I have created is the database which is called as Isaiah, for example, I can say like this one, use Isaiah. Because from all these database, I wanted to use Isaiah only. So if you see this message like database changed, it means that is correct. It means that is correct. Then you are doing something in the database. Okay, very good. What's next? The next one is if, for example, you don't need this database, what you are going to do? The syntax that you can use is drop database, then the name of the database that you wanted to drop. For example, if you don't want to see this kali or test or something else, what you are going to do is you may write like this one, drop database, then the name of the database that you wanted to drop from this one is, for example, like if it is test, then I can say test. Then one query or query, okay, the error was affected. So let me check now whether this test again exists or not. So to do this one, what I will do is I can say show databases. Then now look, there is no the database which is called as test here. When we say drop, we delete this database. This database is not exist in our repository. Very good. And then after we do this one, what we are going to do is we're going to create the table. Okay, we're going to create the table where the table is the primary object for the database. The main important thing is that you need to know in the database is a table. It is used to store data in the form of rows and columns. So uh, we can create a table by using this syntax: create table, then the name of the table, then after the column name, the data type, and the size, and any constraints are going to be included. So when you create a table, you may say create table student in the bracket, then the attributes are going to be listed here. Okay, for example, let me say like this one, or let us say here we can say create table bus, then bus number varchar, then source, and etc is there. Okay, let me show you with one more example, and let me say I have said use Isaiah. I have said first, maybe it is changed now, creates table, then the name of this table is, let me say, login, and then it is going to be used like this one, the login table. Or instead of login, to make it clear for you, let me say a student, and then here the student has first name, Then this first name is, let me say, var car. Then this first name is the attribute, this var car is the data type, and then here let me say, for example, 20, this is the size that we are going to reserve for first name. Okay, very good. Then let me say again last name, and then let me say like this one, var car, and here like 20 again. In addition to this one, the student may have first name, last name, and also the student may have ID. Okay, let me say ID number, and this ID number is, let me say, varchar, or you can say also num or integer, it doesn't matter. But when you say integer, it's going to accept only integer value. Okay, let me say like this one, and then 10 for this. Okay, now if we make like this one, this is used to create a table. Look, it is created. So let me say show tables or something else. Here is the table which is called as a student. So since we don't have a data, now we can select all uh, from student, for example. Then it is empty because we don't have any data in the student table. Okay, so I will show you this one later what we'll do. So the word create is the data definition language, and we can create the table, the database, and the etc by using it. This is after this one, what I am going to do is just try to, let me give you this one. For example, when I say like this one, for example, uh, you will disk, then a student, for example, it looks like this one. This is what this disk student means. Describe a student table, what I have created previously, or first name, last name, ID number, then the type of this one is varchar, and then the size is 20, then null is whether this the value of first name is going to be null or not, that means 0 or not. And then we can also make this one not null or whatever. Okay, so this one is how we can do it. Let you create this table by yourself. That is, the name of the table is bus, and the bus has bus number, source, destination, days per week, and etc. And this one are the data type, and try to do this one, and see you next. Okay, thank you very much for your